Surprise, surprise! God is not just a creator but also a financial advisor with a heavenly sense of humor. That's right. Just as he designed the cosmos and all living creatures, he also has a hand in guiding us with our earthly treasures. When you delve into the rich tapestry of biblical teachings, you'll discover that God's wisdom extends far beyond the spiritual realm, reaching right into our wallets. Now, this might seem a bit out of left field. After all, when we think about divine wisdom, we often picture lofty ideas about love, faith, and morality. But as it turns out, even the Almighty isn't above dispensing some practical advice about dollars and cents. In fact, scattered throughout the good book are nuggets of financial wisdom. And what's more, they come with a divine sense of humor. Imagine that, the creator of the universe, the all-knowing, all-powerful God, imparting financial wisdom with a wink and a nudge. It's like finding a $20 bill in the pocket of an old coat. It's unexpected, delightful, and can't help but bring a smile to your face. But don't let the humor fool you. These are not just offhand remarks or throwaway lines. These are profound truths, timeless principles that can guide us in our financial journeys. They teach us about the value of money, the importance of stewardship, and the dangers of greed. They remind us that while wealth in itself is not bad, the love of money can lead us astray. So, buckle up as we embark on this divine journey of financial wisdom. We'll be exploring these heavenly money-saving tips. And along the way, we'll appreciate the humor with which they're delivered, because as it turns out, even God knows that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Yes, you heard that right, even the Almighty has some money-saving tips up his celestial sleeves. And who knows, by the end of this you might just find yourself laughing all the way to the bank. Proverbs 21:20 says, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." Now let's break that down a bit. In our modern context, choice food and olive oil could stand in for anything of value that we consume or use daily. It's not just about food or oil, it's about our resources, our earnings, our assets. You see, the wise person in this proverb is the one who stores up, who saves. They understand the value of their resources, and they don't squander them. They're not hoarding, mind you. They're simply being prudent, ensuring they have enough for the future, for unforeseen circumstances, for that proverbial rainy day. On the other hand, we have the fools. They gulp down their resources. They spend without thinking, without a care for the future. They live for the moment, forgetting that tomorrow is always just around the corner. They are the ones who, when faced with a sudden crisis, find themselves with nothing. This proverb is a simple yet powerful illustration of the concept of saving versus reckless spending. Saving is not just about putting money in a bank account, it's about understanding the value of our resources and using them wisely. It's about not giving in to the temptation of instant gratification and instead, thinking about the long-term consequences of our financial decisions. Reckless spending, on the other hand, is like gulping down our resources. It's satisfying in the moment but leaves us empty in the long run. It's like eating a whole cake in one sitting. Sure, it's delicious and fun while it lasts, but once it's over, you're left with nothing but an empty plate and a stomachache. So the next time you're tempted to splurge on that shiny new gadget, or that fancy dinner, or that pair of shoes you don't really need, remember this proverb. Remember the wise person who stores up their resources and the fool who gulps them down. And if you're wondering how to start saving, how to be that wise person, remember it's not about making huge changes all at once. It's about small, consistent steps. It's about making a budget and sticking to it. It's about cutting out unnecessary expenses. It's about investing in things that will bring you long-term benefits, not just short-term pleasure. That's God's way of saying, hey, don't splurge all your cash on avocado toast or designer water, save for a rainy day. So be wise with your resources. Store them up, don't gulp them down, because the future is always just around the corner, and when it arrives, you want to be ready. In Luke 16:10 we find the gem. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much, and whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. This verse is not just a biblical truth but also a fundamental principle of financial wisdom. It's all about trust and responsibility. The verse implies that if you can be trusted to manage a small amount of money, you can also be trusted with a larger amount. This principle applies to every aspect of our lives, from managing our personal finances to running a multi-billion-dollar corporation. If you can't be trusted with $100, how can you be trusted with $1 million? Similarly, if you're dishonest with a small amount of money, you're likely to be dishonest with a larger amount. This is a warning against financial dishonesty at any level. Whether it's not paying back a borrowed $10 or embezzling thousands from a company, dishonesty is dishonesty, and it doesn't sit well with the divine. Let's break it down further. The verse starts with, "Whoever can be trusted with very little." Now, very little could mean different things to different people. For some, it could be the loose change in their pockets. For others, it could be their monthly salary. Regardless, the principle stays the same. If you can manage that very little responsibly, you're on the right track. The verse then goes on to say, "can also be trusted with much." Here, much represents a larger amount of money or resources. If you've proven yourself responsible with a small amount, it's a sign that you can handle more. It's like a divine endorsement of your financial management skills. The verse concludes with a stark warning against dishonesty. Whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. This serves as a reminder that dishonesty in small things often leads to dishonesty in larger things. It's a slippery slope, and once you start sliding, it's hard to stop. So, what does this all mean for us? Well, it underscores the importance of being responsible and trustworthy in our financial dealings, no matter how big or small. It's not just about the money, it's about the principles of honesty, responsibility, and trust that underlie it. This verse isn't saying that you should never enjoy a cup of expensive coffee or splurge on a vacation, but it's a reminder to manage your resources responsibly. If you're spending more on daily luxuries than you're saving for the future, you might need to reassess your priorities. Translation: if you can't handle your Starbucks budget responsibly, don't expect divine blessings to rain down on your mega mansion dreams. Scene script: humor me with Proverbs 38:9. Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread. Dive into this nugget of divine wisdom and you'll find a profound lesson. The importance of balance and moderation in wealth. This isn't about rejecting riches or glorifying poverty, it's about understanding the power of financial equilibrium. Let's unravel this a bit. When the proverb asks for neither poverty nor riches, it's not simply a plea for an average bank balance. It's a call for understanding that extremes on either end of the wealth spectrum can lead to unwanted consequences. Imagine being so rich that your wealth overshadows everything else in your life. It's like having a spotlight that's so bright it blinds you. You might start to lose sight of what truly matters, like relationships, values, personal growth, and yes, even your faith. When wealth becomes the sole focus, it's easy to forget the bigger picture. On the flip side, consider the hardships of extreme poverty. When survival becomes a daily struggle, it can lead to desperation and actions that one might regret. The proverb warns against such a life, where one might be tempted to steal, thus dishonoring one's faith. In between these two extremes lies a sweet spot, a space where you have enough to meet your needs and some of your wants, but not so much that it becomes a distraction or a source of corruption. The daily bread in the proverb is a symbol of this balance. It's not a feast that induces gluttony, nor is it a famine that incites desperation. It's just enough to keep you nourished and content, allowing you to focus on other important aspects of life. This balance in wealth also fosters gratitude. When you have just enough, you appreciate what you have instead of constantly craving more. It encourages contentment, a virtue often lost in today's consumer-driven society. So, the next time you find yourself dreaming of winning the lottery or fearing financial ruin, remember this proverb. Strive for that balance, that daily bread. It's a call to prioritize faith, values, and relationships over material wealth. And here's the divine punchline. Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you and say, "Who is the Lord?" Or I may become poor and steal, and so dishonor the name of my God. In other words, too much or too little wealth can lead us astray, making us forget our faith or compromise our values. God's like, I've seen what happens when people win the lottery, they buy pet tigers and castles and then forget about me. And don't forget about 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Now that's a statement that packs a punch, doesn't it? Imagine you're at a dinner party and the topic of money comes up. You lean back, swirl your wine and casually drop this biblical truth bomb. That would certainly pause the conversation, but what does it really mean? In essence, this verse isn't condemning money itself. In fact, money is a tool, a resource, a means to an end. It can be used to build hospitals, feed the hungry, and fund meaningful projects. It's not the money that's evil, it's the love of money that's the issue. When we start to prioritize the accumulation of wealth over everything else, over our relationships, our health, our morals, even our faith, that's when we veer into dangerous territory. Money, after all, is transient. It comes and goes, but the things we sacrifice in its pursuit, those can be permanent losses. Imagine this, you're so focused on earning and saving that you forget to live. You miss out on family gatherings, you neglect your health, you compromise on your values. And for what? For a bigger bank balance, is that truly worth it? The verse also warns us about the consequences of this unhealthy love affair with money. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. That's not a divine curse or punishment, but a natural outcome. The pursuit of wealth can lead to stress, anxiety, broken relationships, and a sense of emptiness. So, the divine financial advice here is pretty clear. Money is a tool, not a goal. It's something to be managed wisely, not worshipped. It's cool to have cash, but don't make it the love of your life, or you might end up with a pet monkey wearing a top hat. So, there you have it, folks, a divine comedy in the world of finance. We've delved deep into the grand treasury of biblical teachings, discovering that God, in His infinite wisdom, also moonlights as a financial advisor with a celestial sense of humor. We started our journey with the wisdom of Proverbs 21:20, where God advises us to be wise with our spending. He urges us not to squander our resources on fleeting pleasures, but to save for unforeseen circumstances. It's a heavenly reminder that it's not about how much we earn, but how much we save that truly counts. Then we navigated through the teachings of Luke 16:10, a divine lesson on trust and responsibility. Here, God highlights the importance of being trustworthy, even with the smallest things. If we can't responsibly manage our daily budgets, how can we expect to handle greater financial responsibilities? It's a divine nudge to keep our ambitions grounded in reality. We then reflected on Proverbs 30:8-9, a poignant reminder about the balance of wealth. God cautions us to seek neither poverty nor riches, but to be content with our daily needs. He warns us of the dangers of excessive wealth and the potential for it to lead us astray. And finally, we pondered on 1 Timothy 6:10, where God warns us that the love of money can lead to all kinds of evil. He advises us to maintain a healthy relationship with wealth, never letting it become the focal point of our existence. In all, these divine financial insights offer a balanced view of wealth. They encourage us to be wise, responsible, content, and mindful of our relationship with money. It's not about amassing wealth, but about using it wisely and responsibly, and always remembering the true source of our blessings. Remember these heavenly tips and you'll be counting your blessings instead of dollars in no time. Before we wrap up this divine journey through the financial wisdom of the scriptures, we have a quick reminder for you. If you found value in this video, if it made you rethink your relationship with money, or if it simply entertained you, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps us reach more people and spread this heavenly wisdom. We'd also love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you have your own divine financial advice to share? Or perhaps a personal experience that resonates with these teachings? Share them in the comments section below. We love hearing from you. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. We have more divine wisdom on the way, exploring different aspects of life through the lens of Scripture. So stay tuned and don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and remember, God's wisdom is just a click away.